Guys, listen to me. I just came across this video and I wanted to bring it up to my platform and just do a quick reaction to it. This video and what you guys are about to watch, please watch to the end of it, because I think Kevin gives an absolute masterclass on how to talk to the opposition, how to deal with sign language, how to circumvent different things that you might hear that generally men are not equipped prior to watching content in this space to know how to deal with in the most effective way. As I watch this video, it reminds me how grateful that I am to have known Kevin and to consider him a personal friend prior to his death, and to be able to absorb as much information as what I could during that time. I'm going to try to break this video down the best way that I can, but watch and pay attention.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 57.
57. All right. What do you got for me? What are we talking about?
Well, I just want to know why you have such a negative opinion of black women.
Notice Kevin, no reaction, hand just like this, barely even moved. How many of you guys, when someone comes to you and places you within a negative question, buck up, have an emotional reaction, do something with your hands? Kevin nails stoicism right here. And during that whole time, you don't hear any ums, you don't hear any sucking of his teeth, none of that, because he's thinking of his plan of attack.
You want to start that way off with me?
So what does he do? He checks her immediately.
Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm. Are you single or are you married?
So she's coming to the rodeo.
I was married. I am single now.
Okay.
You divorced?
I am divorced.
How long you been divorced?
Since I was 40.
Any children?
I have 4 children, 7 grandchildren.
Any sons?
I have 2 sons, 2 daughters.
Are they married, your sons?
My sons are not married.
Mm-hmm. What am
Neither are my daughters.
What am I asking black women to do that your sons would disagree with?
Oh, the brother was so good. What did he just do? Instead of combating her and going deep down into a place that he doesn't want to go because she's trying to frame him to be a negative person, a biased person, he just begins the information collection process, because in his mind he's thinking there's a particular reason as to why she thinks this way, or there's a particular reason that she wants to come into my stream onto my platform with hundreds of people to thousands of people to tens of thousands of people that are watching with this accusatory negative stance and or position. So he follows up with the question that'll be the linchpin of the entire conversation. What do your sons, what you birthed, what you created, what do they disagree with me on? Pay attention.
I think my sons kind of look at me and they don't want to be married to black women.
Doesn't even answer the question, because in her mind, it's nothing. Kevin recognizes the deflection immediately and watch his response.
I said, what am I asking black women to do that your sons would disagree?
Hold her to it. How many of you guys, and I'll leave a link to this description box down below if you guys don't want to hear me give you tutorials on this. How many of you guys would allow the deflection, would allow the emotion, would allow the throwing of the goalpost to lead into your next conversation? Hold the line at the question that you ask and hold them to answering that specific question.
I'm not sure.
Your sons look at you and they don't want to be married to black women?
Yes.
Do they love you?
Yes.
Then why don't they want to be married to what looks like you?
I'm a very forceful woman.
So what was the initial question you asked me?
She came in and asked a very forceful question. She said it herself. Kevin, through Socratic method, would get you to tell on yourself without him having to deep down or steep down into the negative abyss of whatever it is that you're trying to ask him. He will not let you frame him down there if that's not who he is. Pay attention.
Yeah, what about black women don't you like?
Probably the same things your son don't like about you.
Oh!
That could be true.
Oh!
Yeah, but I've had to work to be the person that I am.
Excuses. How many of these women today wear how hard that they had to work? Normal shit. Simple shit. We all work hard, mama. We all work hard. But if your sons look at you and say, man, I look at how mama treats daddy, I don't even know. How many of us today wear the burden of how we watched our mothers treat our fathers?
I had to climb the corporate ladder for my entire life.
What is okay?
I actually,
Okay, you work to be the
I was
person
the
you are.
breadwinner
Hold on,
of my
man. You know what
family.
I'm talking.
Defensive.
Just want to be clear. You work to be the person you are. How are you judging? What do you mean the person you are?
Well, I had to climb the corporate ladder, like I said. I put my husband through college and through school. I helped to build the entire family before he knew how to do it. I was forced to do it first.
And who filed for divorce?
I did,
Why?
And who chose that man?
because he wasn't the man that I needed.
After all that work and all that stuff you want credit
You
for?
threw it all
left
away.
it?
Yes.
Is he remarried?
No, he's not.
So your sons, was that
Because
the father?
he was a
their
cheater.
father?
Yes.
And so you said all these nice things. You worked to build with your man and all these other things. You put him through. Then after that, you left him because he wasn't good enough?
No, because he was a cheater.
No, you said he wasn't the man he's supposed to be. Now you're saying the cheating thing. So now your
cheated.
sons looked at you do this as well. And you said you had to work your way up the corporate ladder. Did you have to go to corporate America?
I thought so at the time.
No. Did you have to, or was it a choice?
No, I thought I had to.
No, man.
So
Have to is breathe, be black. You didn't have to do anything. It was a choice because coming out of high school, you couldn't get that job. You had to make yourself skilled to do that. So it's a choice. Right?
Yes, I chose to
You
be better
chose
than
to
what I
go to
saw.
America. Is going to corporate America automatically prohibitive of having a healthy family life for non-black women?
Well, I wasn't
No,
taught that at that
I
time.
asked the question. Is going to corporate America automatically prohibitive for non-black women?
Not automatically,
Okay,
no.
thank you. So women can go to corporate America and do all the things you say and still maintain a family.
They can.
All right.
But it's at a cost.
So the struggle you saying you had to deal with was a choice. You didn't have to do it. You chose to do it. The man
Yeah, in order
did.
to
You
have
chose.
something that I
You
grew up
chose.
with.
No, ma'am. See what women like you come through the door and automatically assume that number one, people fall for those weak arguments. I don't. And I don't hate
think
black
it's a
women.
weak
Dislike
argument?
black women. Black women like yourself just don't like a mirror being held up to you with facts, data, and statistics.
And when that mirror is held up, then they come in with the same energy and the same accusatory words that she just did. They're not mad at Kevin. They're mad at their own reflection. They're mad at their own choices. They were told that they can have everything, and at the end of it, they have nothing. And their bitterness is misdirected at Kevin because Kevin held that mirror. And it's not directed to the media that told them that they can have everything, or the echo chambers that told them that they could have everything.
Your son holds a mirror. Your sons have determined who their mate choice. Your sons would likely not disagree with anything. And they have not chosen their own reflection based upon the woman that raised them. Why have your sons rejected you?
He brought it back.
I don't think that they have.
Well, then why haven't they married you?
I think that they have grown up with their own choice in life, and I would rather for them to have that.
Yeah. So, and how old is your youngest son?
31.
So, if he's
No,
over 30, he's over 30. If they were
Mhm.
non-black boys, better than 50% chance they'd be married by this time.
Maybe.
No, maybe. See, that's a fact. That's data. You can verify that yourself after we get off. Then why, if a woman who's as accomplished as you are and done the things you say you did, why do you think your sons are rejecting a woman that shares your reflection to marry?
That's their choice.
No, you're their mother.
Yeah, but that doesn't make me a perfect person just because I'm their mother. I'm still learning and
See,
growing as a person as
perfection
well.
is not the
Doesn't make
requirement.
me-
Perfection is not the requirement. But
Yeah. Utilizing outliers in order to try to prove her point. No one said that you have to be perfect, but I implore you guys to recognize these conversational tactics of utilizing outliers in order to try to prove a point. But Kevin brought it back. Another point that I wanted to mention is that Kevin had statistics all in his back pocket, recognizing the difference between her sons and her in the 50% rate of white America was key within this conversation.
just like you said, how you came in this door was who you are. And it's
Uh-oh.
distasteful.
Uh-oh.
That's your opinion.
It's also your son's opinion.
Not necessarily.
Okay. Shame, insults, guilt, they need to be right.
Yeah.
So, see, the funny thing is, women in our generation, whether you like it or not, I've gotten more black people married in the last year than all the people who keep telling you that you're right.
Well, that's awesome.
I know it is. That's why black women keep showing up. That's why women your age are saying, you know what, initially I didn't like you until I really realized that it wasn't that I didn't like you. I didn't like you telling me about myself.
Oh.
With things I couldn't refute. Because, like it or not, at our age, we're not supposed to be single.
That's a choice too, isn't it?
No, we're not supposed to be single. What generations that preceded us in our culture where people decide to be single in their 50s plus or their 40s plus?
I don't know many other generations that do it. Most people want to have
So your corporate career, you've been single since 40. After retirement, I'm assuming you're doing decently financially.
I maintain.
You maintain. Will you be able to have what you need for retirement from 65 to 85 cash?
I think so, yes.
Well, if that's what you determine as a successful life, then kudos. But most people think life is about people. Most people understand life is about people, family, and relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Can you get one of those? A relationship.
I'm not ready yet.
I didn't ask you. I said, can you get one? Not if you're ready.
Yeah.
You've been divorced 17 years. How long is it going to take you to be ready? Till you're 80?
Until I'm ready.
Uh-huh.
If it's not
How long is
yes.
that? And what constitutes being ready if you've been divorced 17 years?
Opening myself up again to hurt and disappointment.
Mm-hmm. So that's the only thing a relationship is hurt and disappointment.
That's what has been my experience thus far.
Okay, so your 4 children would love to know that they're hurt and disappointment.
No, not them.
Damn. Ow! Checkmate. Godfather, undefeated. That's who raised you, people. That's who raised you. That's your nanny. That's the culmination of your grandmother, your great-grandmother. That's the culmination of all them whoopings, Chicken George trying to get away. All that stuff that happened from child slavery, that's the culmination of it right there. Right there. Me, 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 me. I worked my way up the corporate ladder. I. And I'm not always so good. I even went and did this for this man, and I did it for him. But then I left him because he wasn't the man he needed to be. All pointing that way. Then why aren't your sons, what am I saying that your sons would disagree with? Why aren't your sons chosen to marry their reflection that looks like you? See, to the fair complected lady from the Bronx, I want you to understand, that's exactly what I mean. Boys see the disdain and the disgust and the things that their mothers are. And that woman said she was divorced 17 years. That's why I always recommend therapy for quality of life, because relationships aren't on the table for people that are that jaded. But you can still have a different quality of life. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to drop your need to be right and be validated and be heard. That's why the black female matchmakers and dating coaches are quitting in the droves. You guys are women like her are victim queens. What do I mean by victim queens? They're proud. They lead with their suffering and sacrifice. I did this, I did that, I did that. I had to work my way up. I. But then anybody else who did that, it's just called living. Just called living. But you want credit for wrecking your home, leaving your marriage, and raising children. But you having 4 kids, but you said the very thing that brought them to you is classified as pain, hurt, and suffering. I'm sure they're proud to know that that's what their mother thinks their net is. I said it before and I say it again. Can I make it up?
Well, I just want to know why you have such a negative opinion of black women.
Guys, I wanted to let that rock towards the end just so you guys can understand kind of the gravity of Kevin's thoughts after he was done talking to her. Now, she came in and said, why do you have such a negative opinion regarding black women? Which Kevin commented how distasteful that was of an entrance. Kevin inevitably said checkmate towards the end of the conversation when she admitted what all of her relationships amounted up to. She is a woman in pain, so of course, Kevin holding up a mirror to where exactly her pain resides and where did it stem from is going to come across as him having a negative opinion about the people that he is speaking about. Now, if you watch Kevin's response on this, how can you come out the end of this and legitimately think that he has a negative opinion on black women? He's diagnosing exactly what the issue is and pointing the finger back somewhere where she's never pointed it before, on herself. See, that's what taking accountability is, and I've said this before. Unless you take accountability for yourself, your flaws, the trauma that you've gone through, then you'll never be ready for anybody else. At least a healed version of anybody else, so you can be your most happy or the most joyous into the future. Kevin never dunked on her within the conversation. He came from a healing perspective, and that's why Kevin was and always will be the GOAT. Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. What you guys think about today's video? Did you guys learn something here today? I really hope that you did. Hopefully it just wasn't just a remembrance of Kevin, but I guess that's just good too. But I always want you guys to come out with a learning at the end of the day, with a solution at the end of the day as well. The brother left us far too early, and he had so many other amazing things to do. And I was excited to see his rise. But some things never turn out. Until next time, YouTube. Peace!
You don't wanna see me get vexed. Bars on your phone, tell a man you can't jack. The big guy, the ones who can't stretch. Breaking the neck when we in the car next. You don't wanna see me get vexed. Bars on your phone, tell a man you can't jack. The big guy, the ones who can't stretch. Breaking the neck when we in the car next. That bars need a fibrillation ASAP. Get boxed with a straight gap. I'm reminded of mind state they lack. Every time that they climb, we go way back. All they wanna be is just